All right. So what do we do to start finding the line of regression? What's the first button? Stat. Okay? Now I'm going to leave that open so you can see what I'm hitting. Just move this over here. All right. Why did that go so big? Okay. So all right. So we're going to hit stat first. Okay, so up here's showing you what button I'm hitting. All right. So edit, just hit enter, and then that goes to my list, right? So I just hit enter. Now I've got lists full of something else from whatever I did the last time. Okay, so to clear your list, hit your up arrow key to highlight whichever one you're clearing, and then just hit the clear button, which is right there, far right at the top. Then hit enter, and it'll clear it out for you. I'll hit my left arrow key and up to highlight the L1, hit clear and enter, and now I'm ready to put in my new list. Questions on clearing lists? All right, so L1 is going to be the X's, all right, the fruit in a smoothie, 2 ounces of fruit, 1, 4, and so on. So just hit enter after each number, 2 enter, 1 enter, 4, 7, 10, oops, not 13, 10, then 3, 6, and 9. All right, so I have those in. Okay, I'm going to clear this history. I hit my right arrow key and it'll go to the top of the next one. And then total cost. Again, you don't need a dollar sign, just 2.1 for 2.10, 1.5, 3.05, 4.45, and just put all those in. Hit enter after each time. Oops, I messed that up. Nope, that's wrong too. I want to go up. All right, go to, what did I do wrong? All right, let's clear that. Go up. 5.95, then enter. 1.75, 4, 5.35. All right. So again, I like to try to check those. So I'm going to go, I'll just clear all that out again. I'm just going to go up and make sure. So I got a 9 and a 5.35. That's right. A 6 and a 4, a 3 and a 1.75, a 10 and a 5.95, 7 and a 4.45, 4 and a 3.05, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.1. Okay? So I just like to check to make sure I got the right numbers. Because if I don't have the right numbers, I'm not going to get the correct equation. Questions? That's pretty easy, right? All right. So now, to put the linear regression or find that linear regression equation, where do I start? Back to where we started this problem. What button? Stat again. All right. For statistics. All right. Now this time we're going to move over one to the right to our calculate menu, the CALC. All right. And remember, this is called a linear regression. That's number 4. So you can hit your down arrow key to get to 4, or just hit the number 4. I like this to hit the number. Okay, and then I have to hit enter. And that should give me the information I need. All right, so that's the screen I want to get my equation. All right, again, there's my equation. Y equals AX plus B. We're used to MX plus B. In the calculator, A in this type of problem is our slope. Okay, so the equation I'm going to write is y equals, and I like to go to thousands, so 0.505 x. My b is positive, so plus. If my b value was negative, I'd write minus 0.865. Okay? All right, if they're asking for the correlation coefficient, that's the R value. If you're asked for that. Just looking at that, would you say this is a strong positive, strong negative, or no correlation? Jaylee? Strong positive. Positive 1 is the strongest it could be. Negative 1 would be the strongest negative correlation it could be. 0.987 is real close to positive 1, right? So if we were to put a scatter plot on, they would look in this direction. Those dots would be really close to a straight line. Wouldn't be hard to draw that in there. Brett, what's your question? Got it? Okay. Anybody have a calculator question? Okay. So we found the equation of the line, the best fit. Estimate the cost of a smoothie that's made using 8 ounces of fruit. So all I'm going to do is put 8 right there. Okay? You can just go to hit second quit, clear, and just punch that in. All right, you can just do 0.505 and put 8 in place of the x plus 0.865 like that and get $4.91. Why did I say 91? I rounded up. Go to the nearest cent. If you're answering in dollars and cents, go to the nearest cent, which would be 91, not 90, right? Because of the 5. Or the other way you could do that, you could hit second trace, which is our calculate menu. And we're doing number 1, the value. We're going to put a value in for x. So it's going to ask you, so there's, okay, so I don't know why that went in there, because that's not the right one. So I got to clear that out. So it might not do it because I don't have the line in there. All right, so let me go back. Second trace. So it might not let me do it. It won't do it because I didn't put the line in. Okay, I'd have to put in my y equals. All right, we didn't do that part. And on your test, I'm not going to make you draw that in. Okay, so we're not going to worry about that. So we're going to go back to that. I'm going to go second enter. Second enter tells me what I just typed in. So that's something. Connor.
After you do the line reg ax plus b, what do we do after that?
Does yours say calculate at the bottom? Hit your down arrow key to calculate and then hit enter.
Gotcha.
Anybody else? The newer calculators, here's the difference. Thanks, Brent. All right, the difference, see, these are the newer ones. This one you're going to have, when you go to the stat calc number 4. Why did that not work? Oh, because of that. Okay, let's clear that out. Stat calc 4. Okay, when you guys hit enter, you'll see a bunch of stuff, and then calculate at the bottom. You have to go down to calculate, highlight, then hit enter. Then it'll do that for you. If If you got one like Brendan and me, it'll do it just like that. Okay. All right. So, what do we say that was? $4.91. Okay. So, questions on that? I know that was a couple nights ago, but does that help as far as the keystrokes getting to where we need to get? I just see blank faces. Yes?
Yes.
Yes? Good. Anybody else still have a question? Okay. Yes, Elena.
After you have like the points, like the X and Y, how do you get them into like a scatter plot?
Oh, to do the actual scatter plot, if you have to draw it? Okay. So go to, let's clear that out. Thanks. She's here. We got her. You're welcome. All right, so to get your scatter plot, if you look above y equals, it says stat plot. That's where we go. So we hit second, y equals. All right, and number one should be on, okay? And this is telling me what type of graph, that picture, which is a scatter plot we're doing, and which list you're using, L1 and L2, and the little box means it's going to be a box, okay? If I hit enter, it'll go to that screen for the first plot, okay, plot one. And you want that to be highlighted on, type, you want that to be highlighted, that's what we're doing. You know, we could do bar graphs, we could do box and whiskers, but that's not what we're doing right now. And then make sure your lists are L1 and L2. The mark could be any one you want. I always do the box because it's a little bit easier to see. But if you would prefer plus signs or dots, it's okay. So if all that's good, you go to zoom, which is in the middle up here, top, and then 9. That's our stat one, and it'll draw it in there for you. Okay? But again, I'm not going to make you do that on the test. I know you guys can plot points on an XY axis, can't you? That's just doing that for you. Okay? Any other questions? But as you can see, those boxes line up pretty good, almost in a straight line, don't they? Because our correlation was really close to 1. If that R was a 1, all these little boxes would have lined right up, and they would all be on the same line. Okay? Questions? Other questions? Okay. So if I were to put this in my y equals, it would draw my line in there. Right in through there. Okay. Those are really, actually that just looks like kind of the outlier there. Probably looks like all the other ones might line up. All right, we good so far? All I want out of today is you to feel more comfortable using that new tool you have. Okay? All right. Last night's stuff. All right, let's go through this one together. All right? So, what's my numbers for my A matrix? Mr. Tripp, what's the top row?
I had 1.
Well, for this one.
4, 2, and 3.
Thanks. Brendan, what's the middle row?
2, -3, and 5.
Brett, what's the bottom row?
6, -1, and 4.
Everybody okay with those? Matrix A, what's its dimensions? What's its size? How many rows?
3.
How many columns?
3.
Okay, so when you edit your A matrix, you want to make sure it's 3 by 3, which it should be already. That's already done for you because you've done that already. Okay, and then you have to go to edit to put new numbers in. Okay, so when you hit your matrix, button, all right, that's, let me get out of there. All right, matrix is second inverse button. It says matrix above it. I hit my left arrow key, highlight edit. I'm doing A, so I hit enter. The 3 by 3 is already there, so just hit enter twice, and then just start putting them in. All right, so I'm gonna put those in. You guys, I think, already did that. Don't forget your negative sign. All right, so just check real quick. 4, 2, 3, 2, negative 3, 5, 6, negative 1, 4. Just make sure you have the right numbers. Again, if you put the wrong numbers in, you're not going to get the right answer. All right, to get out of there, I hit second mode right next to it. That means quit. That pops you out. Again, I don't know why we can't just jump into matrix B, but it doesn't usually work out if we don't jump out for a second. Jump back in, second inverse, and then we're going to go edit first, and then hit number 2 for B. Okay? So let's figure out what B is. So 3 rows, 1 column, and it's just these numbers. Don't forget your negative signs. Remember, when you do this, make sure everything's lined up. So far, everything's been lined up for you, right? Every now and then, they'll try to mess with you and not put them in the right order. So you got to change the order if you have to. Get them in the right order, X, Y, Z. The other thing is, sometimes they don't have a X or a Y or Z in one of the equations. What number do you put in that spot? Wiley. 0. Thank you. Okay? You have to put a 0 in the spot if there's a variable missing. Okay? And remember, if there's no number in front, like this one here, we know it's a 1, right? If that wasn't there at all, then we would have put a 0 there. Okay? All right. Now, the next thing you got to remember on these, once you get it in, I have to do that, don't I? All right. So hit enter twice so you get to that spot. 12, enter, negative 7, negative 3. All right. So pop out. All right. So the next thing to do is have the calculator do the work for you. So you want this to show up. You need that inverse. This is what you want to show up in your calculator. Now, okay? And then when we hit enter, after we make our calculator look like that, it'll give us the 3 answers, okay? And these 3 numbers will be X in the top, Y in the middle, Z in the bottom. Okay? All right, so. Now I have it all in there. So I go back into matrix, second inverse. Oops, hit the wrong thing. Second inverse. All right, just hit enter and A will pop up. Okay? Now I have to hit my inverse button for the negative 1 to come up. And then second inverse, hit 2 for B, and then hit enter. So negative 1, 5, and 2 is our solution to that system. So that means if I substitute negative 1 here in all 3, 5 there in all 3, and 2 there in all 3, I'll get a true statement. Okay? We could check it if you want. But that's the solution to the system. Okay? Questions? All right, I want to look at, what did we do, 2, 4, 6 yesterday? I want to do number 4, because some of us got no solution, and some of us got a solution, all right? So, who's got the problem written down? Berkeley, do you have it written down?
I have like the A and the B tables, but I
Okay.
don't have the problem with
All right,
that.
I'll get it. I'll get it from here. That was page, what, 32, you told me? All right. And this is which one, 4? We're doing? Not 2, right? So we had 5x plus y minus z equals 6. X plus y plus z was 2. Ah, I see what might have happened. 12x plus 4y equals 10. So z wasn't there, right? So what number should we put there? 0, yeah. So when we put it in our matrix, that should be a 0. Okay? If you put a 1 there, then you might have got an answer, you might not have got an answer. We'll see which way it works. Okay? I'm going to get rid of that. You guys know what to put in now, right? So I go second matrix, edit, enter, enter, enter. 5, 1, negative 1. 1, 1, 1. 12, 4, 0. Pop out. Pop back in. Edit. Number 2 for B. Enter, enter to get to the 6, 2, 10. All right. Pop out. All right, now here's something you can do. Instead of going back into matrix A, inverse and that, I can just hit second enter. And that's what I typed in last time. So it'll type it in for me. And now I hit enter, it should give me the answer. Okay, so that means what? There's no solution. Okay? There's no solution. So if you got a solution, you probably put a 1 there where the z should have been instead of a 0. Okay? So no solution is okay. Elena,
I put 0 and I got a
you did? Okay. Go to your matrix. Did you make sure you had a negative 1 there? You had all 1s? And you had 12, 4, and 0. So that was all right. Okay, go to your B. What'd you have written?
6, 2, and 10.
Okay. So you had it written right on your paper? Okay. Did you do A inverse B? Okay. So something when you typed it in was wrong. One of your numbers, or maybe you forgot the negative sign there. Okay. All right. You shouldn't have gotten an answer. You should have got that mismatch. All right. Let's try this one just for practice. See what you get. Okay? And that'll be it for today. No homework. And then tomorrow we'll get back to what we're supposed to be doing. Are you guys feeling better about the calculator? Serenity, you getting a feel for it? Good.
What's that?
You guys are getting the error?
Yeah.
Bummer, I wanted one that worked.
See if I can find it. I don't know.
All right, so you guys got another error? Okay, you got an error, you did it right. All right. So, any questions at all about the calculator? All right, good job today. Thanks for keeping up. You're better than my other class. They can't keep up on the buttons they're supposed to push. If you want to see it, yeah, if you want to see what it looks like, go second way, and then it's on, okay? So hit zoom, now, and then it'll show it. If you need to look at
How do I get to
the other part, okay, go back to stat, go over to count, number 4, hit enter, and then go down to calculate, and then you're welcome. Did that help? So you had something to look at?
Yeah.
Do you need it for, try to do last night's homework, or you got someone you can borrow? Okay.
Mine's like, do that. It looks like I wouldn't
So you think about leaving after halftime, yeah? Because the bus leaves at 6.
Maybe.
Look at your number. I think I will.
Oh, because we have 4 grades. That was summative? Oh! Yikes. I messed up on that test. It was summative.
Every test.
That's true.
But I agree.
We have 1 minute.
Maybe
Yeah, I have a
I mean, 77 still fine.
Yeah.
It's not fair. It's not so well. It's an ABC. Either way, I think it's a C above. Plus, I can get that up. Like it's hard. I just literally missed like an I. So probably an accent. No, I didn't miss the accent. I made sure I said it better. And then.
Well, he said he'll give us
Oh.